Hello friends, I am Sunil Ranjan and I am an English teacher. Now here in this video I have come up with Dhauli, the poem by Jayant Mahapatra. So first telling you about Jayant Mahapatra because it is important to know the poet also. Jayant Mahapatra is an Indian English poet. He was born in 1928 in Cuttack, Orissa. He is the first Indian poet to win a Sahitya Academy Award for English poetry. He is the author of poems such as Indian Summer and Hunger, which are regarded as classics in modern Indian English literature. He was awarded a Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian honor in India in 2009. He returned the award in 2015 to protest against rising intolerance in India. Deeply rooted in Indian ethos, Jayant Mahapatra's poems reflect his fascination for Indian myth, culture, heritage, and legends. He is regarded as the true poet of the soil. His themes purely depict the Indian way of life with its realities. His poems carry the backdrop of Indian landscape. His writing resonates with the portrayal of contemporary Indian society, blending the past with the present and creating an idea of the future. Living in his hometown in Orissa, most of his poems center around the happenings and the lives of the people of his soil. However, he beautifully uses the microcosms of his native land to capture, portray, and comment on the macrocosm of India. His recurring themes mostly are poverty, prostitution, social exploitation, economic degradation, alienation, and solitude. Dhauli is the place in present-day Orissa state of India, where the Kalinga war had broken out between the Mauryan Empire led by Ashoka and the Kalinga kingdom. In that bloody war, thousands of people and soldiers had lost their lives. The battle was fought on Dhauli hills on the banks of Daya river. The Kalinga war was one of the largest and deadliest battles in Indian history. In the entire Indian history, this war is considered as the deadliest war, taking nearly 250,000 lives. The bloodshed, violence, and the landscape filled with blood-smeared and rotten dead bodies moved Ashoka so deeply that he considered himself the reason for the bloodshed and suffering of people. He vowed to never go to war again and decided to devote his time to promote love, peace, ahimsa or non-violence, and dharma vijay or victory through one's sense of duty. The poem Dhauli is taken from the poetry collection named Waiting. So here begins the poem. So first I'll read out the text and then I'll be coming up with explanation. So here it begins. Afterwards, when the wars of Kalinga were over, the fallow fields of Dhauli hid the blood-split butchered bodies. As the earth burrowed into the dead hunger, with its merciless worms, guided the foxes to the linked genitals. Now, the explanation is, the poet begins to describe the place where the Kalinga war was fought long time back. The fields of Dhauli lie barren. The land had witnessed one of the deadliest wars in Indian history. It told the story of the butchered bodies that lay rotten after being eaten away by the worms and their genitals eaten away by the foxes. The lies present a ghastly scene that has resulted and taken shape long ago. The dry place hides the blood-smeared bodies of the dead. Now, coming to the text. Years later, the evening wind, trembling the glazed water of the river Daya, keens in the rock edits the vain word, like the voiceless cicadas of night. The measure of Ashoka's suffering does not appear enough. The place of his plain peers lamentably from among the pains of the dead. Now, the explanation goes, after centuries rolled by, the evening wind sweeps across the shining waters of the river Daya that flows nearby. The river water smashes against the rock edicts on which Ashoka had expressed his grief and regret over such a killing. The written words appear to be like the voiceless cicadas the insects that produce a high continuous sound. With the evening wind blowing, the place looked completely silent. The poet says that the suffering of Ashoka was nothing compared to the suffering of the huge number of people who lost their lives in the war. Personifying pain, the poet concludes his poem by saying that the pain of the dead continued to stare lamentably at what had happened to them. So here I come to the end of the poem with its explanation, and my dear, if you subscribe to my channel, I promise that I'll be coming up with finer videos for you from time to time. Thank you.